Hare Krishna. Today we'll be discussing chapter 11 of Srimad Bhagavad-Gita, the universal form. Text 1, Arjuna Vacha. Arjuna said, I have heard your instruction on confidential spiritual matters, which you have so kindly delivered unto me, and my illusion is now dispelled. This chapter reveals Krishna as the cause of all causes. He is even the cause of the Mahavishnu, and from him the material universe emanates. Krishna is not an incarnation, he is the source of all incarnations. That has been completely explained in the last chapter. Now, as far as Arjuna is concerned, he says that his illusion is over. This means that Arjuna no longer thinks of Krishna as a mere human being, as a friend of his, but the source of everything. Arjuna is very enlightened and he is glad that he has a great friend like Krishna. But now he is thinking that although he may accept Krishna as the source of everything, others may not. So in order to establish Krishna's divinity for all, he is requesting Krishna in this chapter to show his universal form. Actually, when one sees the universal form of Krishna, one becomes frightened, like Arjuna, but Krishna is so kind that after showing it, he converts himself again into his original form. Arjuna agrees to what Krishna says several times. Krishna is speaking to him just for his benefit, and Arjuna acknowledges that all this is happening to him by Krishna's grace. How is now convinced? Now he is convinced that Krishna is the cause of all causes and is present in everyone's heart as the Super Soul. Hare Krishna. Text 2 translation. O Lotus Side 1. I have heard from you in detail about the appearance and disappearance of every living entity as they realized through your inexhaustible glories. Arjuna addresses Lord Krishna as a lotus side. Krishna's eyes appear just like the petals of the lotus flower. Out of his joy, for Krishna has assured him in the last verse of the previous chapter that he sustains the entire universe with just a fragment of himself. He is the source of everything in the material manifestation, and Arjuna has heard of this from the Lord in detail. Arjuna further knows that in spite of his being the source of all appearances and disappearances, he is aloof from them. His personality is not lost, although he is all-pervading. That is the inconceivable opulence of Krishna, which Arjuna admits that he has thoroughly understood. Text 3 translation. O greatest of all personalities, O supreme form, though I see here before me your actual position, I yet wish to see how you have entered into this cosmic manifestation. I want to see that form of yours. The Lord said that because he entered into the material universe by his personal representation, the cosmic manifestation has been made possible and is going on. Now, as far as Arjuna is concerned, he is inspired by the statements of Krishna, but in order to convince others in the future who may think that Krishna is an ordinary person, he desires to see him actually in his universal form, so to see how he is acting from within the universe. Although he is apart from it, Arjuna asking the Lord's permission is also significant. Since the Lord is Supreme Personality of Godhead, he is present within Arjuna himself. Therefore, he knows the desire of Arjuna, and he can understand that Arjuna has no special desire to see him in his universal form, for he is completely satisfied to see him in his personal form of Krishna. But he can understand also that Arjuna wants to see the universal form to convince others. He did not have any personal desire for confrontation. Krishna also understands that Arjuna wants to see the universal form to set a criterion for in the future. Therefore, there would be also so many impostors who would pose themselves as incarnations of God. The people therefore should be careful. One who claims to be Krishna should be prepared to show his universal form to confirm his claim to the people. Text 4 translation. If you think that I am able to behold your cosmic form, O my Lord, O Master of all mystic power, then kindly show me that universal self. It is said that one can neither see, hear, understand, nor perceive the Supreme Lord Krishna by the material senses. But if one is engaged in loving transcendental service to the Lord from the beginning, then one can see the Lord by revelation. Every living entity is only a spiritual spark, therefore it is not possible to see or to understand the Supreme Lord. Arjuna as a devotee does not depend on his speculative strength, rather he admits his limitations as a living entity and acknowledges Krishna in estimable position. Arjuna could understand that for a living entity it is not possible to understand the unlimited infinite. If the infinite reveals himself, then it is possible to understand the nature of the infinite by the grace of the infinite. The word Yogeshwara is also very significant here because the Lord has inconceivable power. If he likes, he can reveal himself by his grace, although he is unlimited. Therefore, Arjuna pleads for the inconceivable grace of Krishna. He does not give Krishna orders. Krishna is not obliged to reveal himself to anyone unless one surrenders fully to Krishna consciousness and engages in devotional service. That is not possible for persons who depend on the strength of their mental speculations to see Krishna. Text 5. Sri Bhagavan Vacha. The blessed Lord said, My dear Arjuna, O son of Partha, behold now my opulences, hundreds of thousands of very divine forms, multicolored like the sea. Arjuna wanted to see the Krishna in his universal form, which although a transcendental form, just manifested for the cosmic manifestation and is therefore subject to the temporary time of this material nature. As the material nature is manifested and not manifested, similarly this universal form of Sri Krishna is manifested and unmanifested. It is not eternally situated in the spiritual sky like a Krishna other forms. As far as the devotee is concerned, he is not eager to see such a form. But because Arjuna wanted to see Krishna in this way, Krishna reveals this form. This universal form is not possible to be seen by any ordinary man. Krishna must give one the power to see it. Text 6. Translation. O best of Bharata, see here the different manifestation of Adityas, Rudras, and all the demigods. Behold many things which no one has ever seen or heard before. Even though Arjuna was a personal friend of Krishna and the most advanced of learned men, it was still not possible for him to know everything about Krishna. Here it is stated that the humans have neither heard nor known of all these forms and manifestations. Now Krishna reveals these wonderful forms to Arjuna. Text 7. Translation. Whatever you wish to see can be seen all at once in this body. This universal form can show you all that you now desire, as well as whatever you may desire in the future. Everything is here completely. No one can see the entire universe sitting in one place. Even the most advanced scientists cannot see what is going on in the other part of the universe. Krishna gives him the power to see anything he wants to see, past, present, and future. Thus, by the mercy of Krishna, Arjuna is able to see everything. Text 8. Translation. But you cannot see me with your present eyes. Therefore, I give you the divine eyes by which you can behold my mystic opulence. A pure devotee does not like to see Krishna in any form except his form with two hands. A devotee must see his universal form by his grace, not with the mind but with the spiritual eyes. To see the universal form of Krishna, Arjuna is told not to change his mind but his vision. The universal form of Krishna is not very important. That will be clear in the verses. Yet because Arjuna wanted to see it, the Lord gives him the particular vision required to see the universal form. Devotees who are correctly situated in the transcendental relationship with Krishna are attracted by loving feature, not by the godless display of opulences. The playmates of Krishna, the friends of Krishna, and the parents of Krishna never want Krishna to show his opulences. They are all so immersed in pure love that they do not even know that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In their loving exchange, they forget that Krishna is the Supreme Lord. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, it is stated that the boys who play with Krishna are all highly pure souls, and after many births they are able to play with Krishna. Such boys do not know that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. They take him as a personal friend. The Supreme Person is considered as an impersonal Brahman by great sages, as the Supreme Personality of Godhead by the devotees, and as a product of this material nature by the ordinary men. The fact is that the devotee is not concerned to see the Vishwarupa, the universal form, but Arjuna wanted to see it to substantiate Krishna's statement so that in the future people could understand that Krishna not only theoretically or physically presented himself as the Supreme Personality, but actually represented himself as such to Arjuna. Arjuna must confirm this because Arjuna is the beginning of the Parampara system. Those who are actually interested to understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna and who follow in the footsteps of Arjuna should understand that Krishna not only theoretically presented himself as the Supreme, but actually revealed himself as the Supreme. The Lord gave Arjuna the necessary power to see his universal form, because he knew that Arjuna did not particularly want to see it, as he have already explained. Text 9. Sanjaya Vacha. Sanjaya said, O king, speaking thus, the Supreme, the Lord of all mystic power, the personality of Godhead, displayed his universal form to Arjuna. Text 10 and 11. Arjuna saw in that universal form unlimited mouths and unlimited eyes. It was all wondrous. The form was decorated with divine dazzling ornaments and arrayed in many grabs. He was garlanded gloriously, and there were many scents smeared over his body. All was magnificent, all expanding, unlimited. This was seen by Arjuna. These two verses indicate that there is no limit to the hands, mouth, legs, etc. of the Lord. These manifestations are distributed throughout the universe and are all unlimited. By the grace of the Lord, Arjuna could see them while sitting in one place. Thus is due to the inconceivable potency of Lord Sri Krishna. Text 12 translation. If hundreds of thousands of suns rose up at once into the sky, they might resemble the effulgence of the Supreme Personality, Supreme Person of the universal form. What Arjuna saw was indescribable, yet Sanjaya is trying to give a mental picture of the great revelation of Dhritarashtra. Neither Sanjaya nor Dhritarashtra were present, but Sanjaya, by the grace of Vyasa, could see whatever happened. Thus he now compares the situation as far as it can he understand as an imaginable phenomenon in thousands of suns. Text 13 translation. At the time Arjuna could see in the universal form of the Lord the unlimited expansions of the universe situated in one place, although divided into many thousands. The word Tatra, there is a very significant indicates that both Arjuna and Krishna were sitting in one chariot when Arjuna saw the universal form. Others on the battlefield could not see this form because Krishna gave the vision only to Arjuna. Arjuna could see in the body of Krishna many thousands of universes, as we learn from the Vedic scriptures. There are many universes and many planets. Some of them are made of earth, some of them made of gold, some of them made of jewels. Some are very great, some are not so great. Sitting on the chariot, Arjuna could see all these universes, but no one could understand what was going on between Arjuna and Krishna. Text 14 translation. Then, bewildered and astonished, his hair standing on end, Arjuna began to pray with folded hands, offering obeisances to the Supreme Lord. Once the divine vision is revealed, the relationship between Krishna and Arjuna changes immediately. Before, Krishna and Arjuna had a relationship based on friendship, but here after the revelation, Arjuna is offering obeisances with great respect, and with the folded hands he is praying to Krishna. He is praising the universal form. Thus Arjuna relationship becomes one of wonder rather than a friendship. Great devotees see Krishna as a reservoir of all relationships. In the scriptures there are 12 basic kinds of relationship mentioned, and all of them are present in Krishna. It is said that he is the ocean of all relationships exchanged between two living entities, between the gods, between the Supreme Lord and his devotees. It is said that Arjuna was inspired by the relationship of wonder, and in that wonder, although he was by nature very sober, calm and quiet, and became ecstatic, his hair stood up and he began to offer his obeisances to the Supreme Lord with the folded hands. He was not, of course, afraid. He was affected by the wonders of the Supreme Lord. This immediate context is wonder. This natural loving friendship was overwhelmed by wonder, and thus he reacted in this way. Which ends the text 14 translation of Srimad Bhagavad-Gita of chapter 11. Hare Krishna. Keep listening. Thank you so much.